Hi, it's good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is the African Crypto Warlord. I hope you guys are doing well. Today, we're going to be looking into XRP, which has been a long time coming. I think it's nearly been 6 months to a year since I have done an analysis on it. That's because I've been out of it. I was lucky to pretty much get in or get out at 80 cents and run it all the way down. But over the last few months, as this bull market has come through and like meme coins, any other shitcoin that's pretty much quite popular at the moment, it's it's really put my eye on XRP. All right, for the simple fact that it hasn't dumped out like everyone suggests it does, and furthermore, it doesn't have any untouched VRE means since a year ago because it's been consolidating sideways pretty much between 30 and 60, 70 cents. So because of the sideways movement, any of these untouched VRE levels that I'll get into now, they're, to me, I look at it as like, for me personally, as I need to start rolling back into XRP. So I'm not wanting to roll back into it at 63 cents right now. I've got some targets on a weekly cone that I'll bring up and a daily cone, and I might hit them there. And I will explain my thought throughout this process. So usually how this analysis goes, the best XRP analysis you'll find on the YouTubes or the Rumble, is it starts from 21 day and pretty much goes all the way down to this case today on the 3 minute. All right. And all I'm doing is I'm getting the direction of volatility, and then I use statistically significant candles in order to project statistically significant probabilities. Okay. Simple, but it took 8 years. And XRP was the coin that I had pretty much been trading for those 8 years. Okay, right now we have some mean reversion happening here on the 21 day with regards to XRP. This thing's a little floppy, so we're going to have to define areas. At least on the 21 day, the next 21 day opens in 3 days and 3 hours. I'd say any closes below 60 cents, 62, you're looking for some more downside. Any closes above 67.11, this could be a seriously good mean reversion through here. Mean reversion, mean reversion, mean reversion. That's a bullish scenario. If it closes down here, getting denied mean reversion, and volatility should technically start to contract. Okay, so that's in 3 days and 3 hours. We'll maybe get back to it then. This is the 14 day. 14 day is in expansion mode, but it's not getting the legs because it's stuck below our orange reverse wave tendy over here with a mean reversion phase. So I do know that if it's in 3 days and 3 hours, starts to close above 63.77, there is, or opens the next candle above 63, whatever I said there, 63.77, I can see these things getting legs. All right, and then this JMA that will select here, that thing will pretty much be its pullback bounce. So over that sits. Here's our 7 day. The cone on the left, let me just drag it up a bit. The cone on the left, that is a probabilities cone, you could say, Laplace distribution. And I'll get into this towards the end of the analysis. All right, currently it's in positive drift, which is helping that 14-day expansion mode. All right, here we are starting to have volatility contract and move into a negative phase. So on the next 3 day prints in 2 hours and 38 minutes. Okay, in this 3 day, we've pretty much come in and retested both means and hold above this region. So XRP is suggesting to me that there could be some bullishness in the market, but I want to see this positive drift lifted up. I don't want the volatility to expand. I want a positive drift pump, as to say. Okay. Now, the only thing that's got my eye here questioning is this DLP mean reverting to the downside on the 3 day. So we'll give you a target to know once it's failed. Technically, it has already. But any closes below 64.24, you're going to look for a little bit more continuation down on the next 3 day print. All right. But in the next 3 day print, we get the 21 day and the 14 day. All right. When is the 7 hour? 7 days also printing in 3 days and 3 hours. So this is going to be a very important print that's to come here on XRP. All right. So 3 day is a negative drift, but it has been bought up. Okay, this is the 24-hour. We'll get into these cones at the end of the stream. 24-hour is in positive drift. What I can say here is there's mean reversion, mean reversion, mean reversion up. All right. The only way it can stay in this expansion mode is if it's closing candles above 60 cents 19. Furthermore, it needs to clear tomorrow or into the weekend to have a pump, let's say for the weekend, has to clear 66.12. There is a little bit of juice here in order for that to happen. So I'll demarcate these as well. All right. 12-hour is looking for a new trend. All right. But it's 50-50. The trend is here, but right now it's come up and it's ended up 50-50, which is a lower high. Okay, a lot of indecision is what I can see in the market currently. Here we have the 6-hour, which is pretty much in expansion mode. Obviously with this wick down, we've seen some of that pump get cut off here. So it's losing correlation to the upside. Trend is starting to end, but we need to know if it's a random walk and if we can define it on the lower time frames. Okay, the 3 hours pretty much what cut it in, as you can see here. As soon as this goes down with that red, the 3 hours going to have the legs. Okay, mean reverting down. So intraday scalps could be in this region, but given we have a new daily printing soon, I think it might have to touch that daily, and we'll pull out that general daily target. I'm guessing it's going to be here at 62 cents. If nothing really changes in the next 2 hours, 30 minutes, there's going to be a daily print somewhere here at 62 cents. If it does lift up in this region at 62.5. Okay. Here, now we're moving on to the 45-minute. That is technically trying to push into a positive drift mode. Nothing really important except for this DLP giving its first firing. RO is also giving its first firing. If it can hold above 63.89, I do look for continuation up into 64.93. These are intraday targets, so this will be in the next 2 hours. 15-minute mean reverting up, so we are looking maybe for another push into these lower highs over here. Built up, so I think the new word now, keyed from Digital Lemons and his gents, is a Dorito. All right, so there's a little bit of a pizza wedge happening here. We'll just have to wait for the new daily print in order to get a longer term position. All right, now is in expansion mode, pretty much back up to when we started the stream. Expansion mode up on the 5-minute. Okay, that's pretty cool. Sort of going to die out. This might be a lower high coming in again. And then as it starts to dump, we want to see if it's dumping into positive drift. All right. This little indicator here. This little indicator here needs to be red. Then it'll have the opportunity to break higher high. Okay. This is Dixie. We don't need to cross that. But if we're here already, we're looking for a Dixie pullback somewhere into the middle here. Given its FOMC meeting, it didn't really matter. But as Dixie falls off, you can expect cryptos to pump. That being the general observation. Let's go to the 7-day. Now let's go set some longer term targets whilst we're out here. For me, anything above 42, just call it from here, 42.50 cents, is still a bullish market for XRP. Only problem is it hasn't come in and touched my pink line, and as such, it's giving me a little bit of worries. So I'm going to state this now. I get bearish on XRP with closes below 61 cents 02, because if it starts to close below this blue line, I do look for a retest of 42 cents 50. Now that's where I would like to start laddering in my long-term buy, and I'll manage risk to see if the trend is strong enough to maybe just take a little bit of a loss here. If I wake up the next day, take a little bit of a loss here, but to then go and pretty much buy either 29 or 37 cents. All right, I've got no qualms with that to stack the bag. Now, there's another interesting thing on the 7-day. This thing's broken outside of its cone. So technically it's in price discovery, and the only time it stops having price discovery is in this bottom left section here, we need all of these things to flash red, which means volatility is 100% expanded. So at the current moment, we need volatility to be contracting whilst negatively correlated. That's going to still keep this thing above the cone, okay? And aka try push it into like 80 cents. The top side of the 7-day cone over here is pretty much $1, okay? That's why I want a positive drift to get us into this cone, because then when it starts to expand from here, it does have some serious legs to break its previous highs. Let's get into more intraday stuff. All right, I think I sort of already stated this. Let's just make this big. Again, we haven't come in and cleared this pink line. It's also in a similar region as to our weekly. Any closes above 66.50, I do look for a push to 89. Just call it 90 cents, pretty much. I do look for a push to 90 cents. Any one of these levels here, these white ones, can prevent that from happening. As you can see here, prevented it from happening. Prevented it from happening. A lot of noise over here, but it did prevent it from happening. Okay? We'll go back to the cone with the skew, and that is pretty much at the end of its cone. All right, it says $1.02 in the book. Now, in order to get there, you have to hold above 60 cents, pretty much flat. The next immediate target would be 81 cents 20. Any failures here, I do again look for 40 cents. Okay. If you found this information helpful, please do like and subscribe, as those are my longer term targets, and I'll get back to us once we print the new 21-day. Just going back to 21-day, any close above 67 cents. Now that you've heard all these numbers come out, any close above 67 cents should technically push this thing into pump mode. Any closes below 60 cents. 77, we are looking for a pullback into 56, 54, or 52. All right, here's again your 40 cents target here at 41. So if you're sort of paying attention and just writing down the numbers and the time frames, I know it's a bit hectic to do, but you would hear we just quantified data. Okay. I am thinking of, in the next 2 weeks, in order to do a live trading session, maybe once a week, in my Discord. All right, and I'll be scalping Bitcoin spot. I'm going to work on getting my leverage trading going. Today I've been able to find something that's conquered my fear of leverage trading. And yeah, I think it's going to be a very helpful way to go about leverage trading. So I'll let you guys know what the results are. My general win rate on MXC is 97%. So yeah, it's one of the better Bitcoin traders in the world, and thank God for that, and thank Alpha Trading. Awesome. Catch you guys in the Discord. If you have any questions or whatever, I can answer them there in these comments. Let's get to it. Have a blessed evening further. African Crypto Warlord out. Solana yesterday, I think we're looking at about 173. We called the $200 target. Pretty good. We got there in 12 hours. Bitcoin as well. We pulled out a 2% move on that analysis. So I'll link those two videos here with the subscribe button in between. Much love.